allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome to our meeting, November 26th. Mr. Eric?
We do have a consent agenda.
Okay.
We do have minutes.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to pull off 2A, our regular minutes of 11/12/2013 for one correction.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay.
Okay, make a motion to approve the consent agenda without item 2A.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Okay.
And now the correction to 2A. Under section 6A, spotlight on success,
That's fine.
number 1, the second sentence reads, writing the grant was Andrew's senior project. I think we need to say Andrew will use the camera system as part of his senior project.
Okay. Can we make a motion for that as amended?
Motion to approve the minutes as amended?
Second.
All those in favor? Did you get that, Elaine? Thank you. Okay.
Yes, first, we only have 2 items tonight. The first item is, Doug has placed this on for the school office supply bid. It's a participation agreement with the state.
Yes, for the last 5 years, the school committee and the school department has partnered with the other school departments in the state through a state bid award, and that's with WB Mason. So, in my opinion, we've saved a lot of money over the past 5 years. What RIDE has done for us is negotiated some very preferable terms through this RFP. And it was originally a 3-year contract with 2 option years, which ended as of June 30th. WB Mason has extended the terms of the last year of the contract through now. But now RIDE has gotten together once again with the state procurement office and would like to put it out to bid again. So this agreement basically commits the school department to continue our arrangement with them, and we would be part of the state bid with whoever the winning bidder is once again for 3 years with 2 optional years, which we could opt out of if we're not happy with it. So I'm asking the committee just to quickly look at this office supply proposal and give me the authority to tell RIDE that we're going to participate, if you so choose, in this contract once again.
And that's one of those collaborative efforts that we have for economies of scale.
Yeah, we've been very
That you've
pleased
been
with
doing.
WB Mason, Mrs. Black. We have a special portal for all the Rhode Island school districts, which has favorable pricing for us. And our arrangement locally is if anyone can provide a documented lower price, we allow them to go with that. If not, which is most of the time, we go with WB Mason.
Oh, that's good.
And we also get a refund at the end of the year, which is averaged about $1,000, which offsets some of our office supplies. So we've had a good experience with it.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
And it's all the school districts in Rhode Island?
I'm not
That
aware of any
participate?
that don't participate. And most of our supplies, especially paper, are purchased through this.
Right, so there is big savings. I mean, I'm part of a similar collaborative in Massachusetts, and the prices are phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you can search for something, on the internet, and if you see a lower price, which we rarely do, if they document it, our schools would document it and demonstrate to me that there's some savings, but I rarely see that, so we've been very pleased.
So you just need a motion to accept the bid participation agreement?
Correct.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fiore. Mr. Rivera?
Yes, the next item is the request for qualifications for our planning and architectural replies that we got for our facility study. You have the 5 firms' proposals before you. Doug and I have gone through them. I sent you today our rank order that we felt were the top 3. And again, it's just our recommendations, but based on the firms that applied, all 5 met our basic qualifications. That's why I sent all 5 to you for your review. The top three that I sent you, I felt had the most experience with either in the field of education, specifically writing facility studies or planning studies for schools. So.
Did I miss something? How did you designate which were the top three?
I read through them. And I just said.
Oh, we sent it in an email.
Sent an email.
I based it.
Oh, when? No.
A few days
Last
ago.
Days ago.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that.
Sorry.
What were the top three? I don't think I got that.
The top three.
See if they correlated with mine.
Were the LLB architects.
Yeah.
Was our first choice.
Number one.
A strong second was RGB.
Number two.
And we liked this firm here, Studio Jade.
I know, I'd have to kind of look into it,
But that, again, those
Okay.
were our three. I mean, I just felt that their proposal was, I don't know, a little more specific. They also talked about meeting our timelines
Yes.
as well.
RGB, I think, was pretty good at that, too.
Yeah, those are the three that, again, all five were, met our qualifications, but I thought those three.
I had a quick question. I probably should have asked this last time, but either one of you can probably answer it. Why we went out for RFQ with this versus just going, request for qualifications, we're being taped, versus just going out for proposal. And I know we've done that before, because when I was on the building committee, we did
That's
a
the
request for
That's the
qualifications.
same process we follow.
Does it have something to do with the straightforward nature of RFPs versus something like this?
I just felt that our experience had been, we did it for the high school project and this project.
Yeah,
the
oh, okay.
elementaries, to find the firm first that the company would like to interview, and then, or choose to see if they're willing, if they come within our price structure. It's really pretty much the process we followed before.
Right.
And it just gives you.
So it's
an
not
idea.
just brick pointing, it's a much
Right.
more
This is-
comprehensive.
And again, they all explained, I focused on how they approached the project as well.
Okay.
And I felt LLB, a couple of reasons why I favored them, was that I felt they spoke to us, to Tiverton, it was personalized, but also not only their lead architect, Mr. Smalley, but a lot of people in this firm worked on our elementary projects.
Right.
And have, first-hand
Experience with the district.
working with those facilities, so.
Although that did bring up a concern of mine, namely that the library at Fort Barton failed to get the air conditioning it was supposed to.
Well,
And that
that's-
given that these individuals were responsible, at least in part, in ensuring that
Well,
those
I'd have to
plans
go
were
back and look.
followed.
I'd have to go back and, because remember,
It might have been the building committee that
building
stripped that.
committee ran the construction.
Yeah.
Doug and I were part of, we'd go to the meetings, but the building committee, as the projects were working on.
Yeah, they started stripping stuff.
Things
They
may
may
have had to
exchange
come
that
out.
for another.
And so I can't say it's their fault per se. It
Yeah,
was-
I would feel more comfortable if you could maybe follow up and find out. I think it's a little odd that they would have traded out air conditioning in the library at Fort Barton alone.
Right,
and
versus
created
all three.
an inequity.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And so I just want to, I would feel more comfortable hearing that these individuals were told it was pulled from the project rather than that.
Or
it
there was a
an
rationale for
oversight.
it, right.
Because certainly in this day and age, that standard, that new library construction, the libraries are air-conditioned. I know that in general, we were very pleased with
Yes.
the project, and it, came in on budget and everything else, but that's the one little troublesome point, it really, for the whole project that I can think of.
Yeah, they did a good job.
The other,
So again, outside, I didn't, I'll be honest with you, I didn't weigh that as a negative, because I'd have to go back and.
we'll have to check and see
check
what happened.
the minutes for those meetings. But again, this is just to interview, again, the committee can decide, tonight's, how do you want to handle it? Do you want us to, do you want Doug and I to do the interviews to see if they come within what their cost structure is, and if their cost structure is way out of whack, we just go to the next one that the committee favors.
So do you go to them to bid now, kind
We
of?
talk to them and we ask them, basically, we
Trying to
give them a-
remember.
What's the cost?
An
As part of
interview, but what's the
process,
cost?
we'll request that they provide a quote.
And again, because this is a little different from like sealed bids that we've
Right.
done on other things like the wastewater treatment, under what conditions do you sit down and negotiate for a price as opposed to asking for a bid and then selecting the
Because-
best bid company
Because the way we
match?
structured the RFQ is to, as our attorney said, is that we're picking the company that we want to talk to,
Right.
to see if they can meet
And-
cost-wise what we want. If they can't, we just
Go to the next one.
company, to the next one, and then if none of them were able to do it, then
Then
we
you
have
do it
to
again.
redo it.
It's like a layered process.
Potentially modify
right.
our request.
But the other thing I wanted to just mention, if you two are going to do it, is I want them to have a relationship with the rules of Rhode Island schools and also the Department of Education, because we want to be able to get those waivers after.
And again, that's why I
That is so
also
important.
favored both RGB and LLB, a lot of Bs there, because both have that experience with RIDE. So it's really how you want to handle it. Do you want to do the interviews, as a group? Doug and I just go through and see, get a price, and if it's within a set parameter, bring it back for your review, or interview the top 3 choices, and then submit the prices to you. It's entirely
I mean,
up to you.
I understood when we had a $35 million school project, we had a whole separate team for basically a $50,000 facility study that, this is just my own opinion, that you guys are probably more familiar with what the facilities needs are than I am. I would have no problem with the two of you interviewing.
Yeah, I agree.
Do we want the top 3 that just interview them all? I mean, I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Right,
I
how-
would just, if you're going to, do more than one, I would recommend the top, whatever the committee's top 3 is, if you want
Okay.
to do a couple to get just a sample of what the cost would be.
Yeah, I would definitely definitely more than one.
Right.
And they're all, I mean, it seems like they're all ready to move pretty quickly, so
We
it's
have
not.
to move quickly, too.
Right,
because,
right.
Right.
That's why we're here tonight.
Because we want to have we want these numbers to vote on down the town.
Right.
Right. That's
Okay.
right.
So you're going to start interviewing right after Thanksgiving? Okay.
I'll start tomorrow. I'll have our office set up the interviews. We can
So
mix
what do we
the
want to do
offices,
for who we want to interview?
or however we want to do that.
Dr. Larkin?
I am comfortable with Mr. Rarick and Mr. Fiore doing the interviewing, and I agree with the top, those were my top 3 too, arrived at independently, blinded
See
via
that?
email.
Independent verification. Meeting of the mind.
So,
That's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, they all 5 looked fine, so
Yeah,
I have no
they all
problem
were
with, if you
sort of
guys are
very
comfortable with those 3, that's.
glamorous.
And I think 3 is a nice
number.
number, yeah.
Yeah,
We
5,
don't-
that's
we
a
don't
lot of
wanna-
talking.
Yeah, 5, it's
we can do that.
a lot of time, but.
Yep, so, yeah, go ahead and interview the
We'll
top
interview the
3
top
and
three.
then get a bid back to us.
Yeah.
Is it worth, I'm just sort of thinking it out, is it worthwhile to have somebody from the committee there? We don't all have to be there, but,
Doesn't matter, as long as it's not 3 of you.
We can
Right.
certainly appoint a representative
I
to
don't
be
think
there.
it would hurt. I think it's good to have,
You're going to be doing these interviews during the day?
yeah, that's what we're going to do. Preferably. I mean, we can work around something, if a member's schedule needed it, we could do it at night.
I think several of us are available during the day if we need to be.
So it's entirely up to the committee. as to
depends
how
on,
they'd like to-
yeah, it'd be probably tough for me in general to be the person.
I think any of us can work around it. Because you have
Right,
days,
that's
I
true.
have days, I could be.
But I
know
mean,
you-
with the
Should
3 of
probably be the
us.
same person, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't have 3, I know that, but I'm just saying, I'd be available too, whenever you know.
It's up to you,
So-
the committee.
Madam Chair, if you'd like to.
Appoint someone?
Would someone like to go with me?
No.
No?
I don't.
I think,
I
tell you what,
I think
I'll go
because
with
of
you
the
if I
limited-
can make it.
How long do the interviews usually
I
take?
can't
I'm just
imagine
curious.
something like this going more than a half hour.
Oh.
You know, we're gonna basically ask them to talk a little bit about themselves, but I'm
You
gonna,
gonna try to have them all on the same day?
if not, within a few days.
Well, so why don't we do that? The Madam Chair can go, and if you can go, Dr. Larkin, then feel
All right,
free.
that
Is
sounds
that
good.
okay,
Because
Carol?
what I wanna do is
Yeah,
do the
sure.
interviews and just make sure we have something so we can,
Yeah.
our
No,
10th meeting's gonna be busy.
by all means, the priority should be to get the interviews.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want
I'd
that
say
in a
about
motion?
half hour. I can't imagine it being a half hour.
Do you want that in a motion?
I
So
think
they'll
we
come
don't.
in ready to talk
Consensus is-
numbers.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna call them, and we're gonna say.
You wanna let 'em know.
You know, you've been notified, your top, one of our top three. We wanted, primary focus would be to talk dollars.
Okay.
And how the project, how you're gonna go about the project. That's why LOB, I think, were most specific, at least, in their initial proposal.
I don't think, do you think we need a motion? We gave you your
No, we gave us
direction.
direction.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll-
That it?
The 10th will be a busy meeting.
Okay.
Any reports?
Isn't that good? No, any reports?
Just very quickly, my notes, the RIDE Technology Committee, statewide committee canceled today, so there's no report on the Wi-Fi.
Oh.
They canceled it. Now, it's funny, they canceled
Weather?
that, but they don't
But they went ahead with
They went
the,
ahead with the other ones.
the other meeting. They had a meeting tonight to
Coincidental.
get input from the school committees and administrators
Yes.
on the
Governance.
governance
Governance of that.
2
structure.
days before Thanksgiving.
But there's like 3 or 4 of those meetings, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
but this
yeah.
was the
Oh,
only one
the
that's
next
close
week.
to us.
This one was.
This one was in
Right.
Newport.
The Nuclear Library.
Yeah.
That's about it, and the 10th is our one meeting next month, and we've got a busy agenda.
We do.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And happy Thanksgiving and
Happy
safe Thanksgiving to
Thanksgiving.
everyone in the
Hopefully
community.
it doesn't rain Thursday, try to get.
So let's keep anything off that 10th agenda that is not time sensitive then, because we do have a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
If we can push stuff off, let's do
We
that.
have the budget, we have the CASET science.
Yep,
course,
we're going to have
We
this.
have this.
We have the Unified High School.
Yep, with the
Unified
Unified High
Oh.
School.
Yeah, so that's gonna be on.
Oh, should we think about starting at 6:30 with that unified high school thing?
I think-
What do you think? Should we wait till
I
we
don't
see
think, do
how
you
long
think a
the
half hour
agenda
makes
is?
a difference? I don't think a half hour makes that big of a difference, do you?
I'm gonna try to keep it to 5.
Well, if you can keep-
5 or 6 items.
What do we have? We have that,
We have that, we have this, we have the.
Picasset, science.
Science scores, and
Budget.
budget is a general conversation as to
You're right.
what direction from you
All right.
folks.
Well, so just anything else we can keep
Everything
off
else
of that, we'll
try to-
push off to January.
Unless there's a higher, for a coach or something. I don't think-
Yeah, unless there's a
But we'll
priority.
keep it as simple as possible.
How long,
Those other items.
how long are the regionalists planning on talking?
Mrs. Von Villis only said about 15 minutes. She said their presentation's about 10 or 15, so. Plus question.
Questions.
I mean, this is so preliminary. It's-
Right, although I have heard from several parents who would like to attend, so if
Of
they
course,
have
they're welcome to come.
comments or questions,
And
so.
speak.
Hard to know.
We do, definitely very serious.
So
Yeah,
I'd say at
we,
least a half hour.
Right.
right, we may have considerable public input, as we would like to
I can see
have.
why the extra half hour.
And the budget is just general, we're not going to
No,
start
it's
digging
not.
into the UCOA
That's-
data yet.
And we have
Okay.
to pick, it's a minor thing, but we just have to pick some dates, because we're at January 15th or 16th deadline.
Comes fast.
17th.
Right,
Get that
right.
preliminary budget in.
But I think we have a calendar.
Yes.
The deadline.
I'll have that for the,
Separate.
yeah, I'll have that for you, but.
All right,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Wow.
Nice holiday.
Record meeting.